The hell did I just watch? Like, what did I just watch, man? That episode of ReZero was flat out insane. Oh my goodness. I cannot. Bruh. This Amelia backstory stuff being revealed, man, gets even more crazier the more we find out. Anyways, guys, it's Cam for 15. I'm back at it with another video for you guys. And we're back with another ReZero episode review. Oh my goodness. I have no words, bruh. This new character, new look-alike to a kid named Pandora is freaking terrifying in the aspect. Essentially what she says you have to do. So I have no clue. Anyways, let's get on to start with this episode. So the episode doesn't really, well, until we get to really the halfway part of the episode, but it doesn't really start off, you know, where we left off last week. It starts off on the outside where Ryuzu Shima is talking to, obviously, our crew, Subaru and the others, and essentially, we find out that her body's depleting because she's getting weaker, and, you know, she's saying this because she doesn't know if Amelia will be back by the time her trial ends. So she brings up the fact that, you know, the original Ryuzu, which is Ryuzu Meyer, excuse me, you know, the Ryuzu Meyer has memories of, you know, things from the past. And we see in this flashback, you know, this Ryuzu Meyer, you know, at the time when the sanctuary wasn't what it is, you know, currently right now in the story, you know, you had Ryuzu Meyer run into Beatrice, and we don't know how long ago this was, but runs into Beatrice just looking into the sky, and eventually, you know, we see Echidna walking out later when I'm guessing she was alive in the world and stuff like that. She considered, you know, Beatrice to be her daughter in some sort of weird way. We already know that thing. But the crazy thing is, Ryuzu has a tie to Beatrice from the aspect of, like, these two were like friends, essentially, like good friends, because you saw later in this whole thing, it's like, you know, when you have Echidna kind of doing her own thing, meeting with some people in the sanctuary and stuff like that. Also, too, we get a younger Roswell, you know, sighting here, which is very much interesting. So I can see why he was very hungry and enticed to see Echidna. But anyways, could also explain the reason why he is who he is today. Anyways, but you know, you saw that one moment where, you know, Ryuzu Meyer was taking her laundry. You had Beatrice essentially following her. And, you know, you had that nice moment and they were friends and stuff like that. Very interesting that Beatrice never brought up Ryuzu Meyer to Subaru. Now, when they get back to the sanctuary, maybe he can bring that up and stuff like that. So, yeah. Anyways, we finally cut back to what was going on and this stuff, and essentially, you know, we cut to the Regulus Corneus guy and Goose and with Amelia and Fortuna, and essentially, Goose is like, bruh, you're not supposed to be here. Like, I'm the only one that's supposed to be here. And then, you know, Regulus is like, oh, well, that's too bad. You know, it was only, I didn't come here on my own free volition. I came here because she told me. And next thing you know, they pan over to this little girl who has the same type of eyebrows as Echidna. And I'm like, whoa. Who the hell is this? I literally thought that was like, I'm like, and then they pan over to Echidna and Echidna like closed her eyes like this. And I'm like, is that her? When she was younger? But at the same time, I'm like, it can't be her because she has black eyes compared to this girl's blue eyes. I don't know what's up with these white-haired look-alike witches or whatever. There's like, I don't know what the hell this girl is. We find out her name is named Pandora. Yes, she's named after Pandora's box, which I find hilarious, to be honest. But this little girl, this woman, I don't know how old she is. This girl is crazy. She's insane. Like, you know, halfway, you know, when we get to near to the tail end of the episode, when, Regulus, is snapping, and he's like, you know what? You do not tell me what to do, you freaking little girl. And he actually flat out, dominates the girl, kills her. Well, we thought he killed her. And I'm like, bruh, this is the same dude that helped out take out Rem. And I'm like, dog, this guy is scary. How the hell are you gonna stop this guy? And then all of a sudden, I see Pandora come out of nowhere, and she puts him into the ground. She stops him into the ground. She's like, you're gonna be sitting in the ground. You're gonna go back home to your wives. So this guy has multiple wives apparently. And then two, he's like, or two, she's like, well, you're gonna go. So when I say go, you're gone. And she says that Regulus is gone. Like, things go back to normal. Heck, Goose, who got hurt really badly by this guy, all his injuries are freaking healed. Two, we also get a semblance of understanding why Goose turned into Betelgeuse, because he actually had a box with the unseen hand which contained the witch factor. He literally ingested and put that into his chest. So he was using the unseen hand in this episode, and I feel like that was the only start to the downturn. And another thing too is, Pandora would look like she was very intrigued with Goose. So that could be the fact that maybe she said something and made Goose the way, he is, which it seemed like, I thought when he embellished the unseen hand into his, body, I thought he would just automatically turn into the crazy type of Betelgeuse we knew. But maybe she told him to be like, you're gonna be my servant and you're gonna do all this and that and yada yada yada. Now the main reason why she's there is for the key and obviously the seal, which we see at the very end of the episode when the little Amelia's running, and then all of a sudden she's just there at the gate saying, I've been waiting for you. And I'm like, what the hell happened to Betelgeuse and Fortuna? I feel like she must have did something to them. Now the whole I did like the moment where Fortuna did come back for Goose. Definitely showed that, yeah, she definitely loves Goose. Fortuna and Amelia goodbye was very emotional from the standpoint, young Amelia at this time was thinking it's her fault, leaving the room and stuff like that, and she's blaming herself. She's like, listen, I'll listen to you, trust me. It almost reminds me back to that time, because one thing we find out is, like, essentially it's kind of a lost cause and everybody's kind of going to sacrifice their lives for Amelia. And it reminded me back to Fairy Tail. I know, probably not a fan favorite anime compared to ReZero, but it reminded me of that time when Gray tried to go take out Deliora and he went against his Master Or's, word to do that. She later shows up and she she sacrifices herself, which is probably what Fortuna and the other elves did. But it was the same thing, like, with Amelia, Gray was doing. Like, he's like, don't do it. I'll listen to you. I promise you. I'll never break a promise. And you see a young kid, and obviously this is just a kid. She doesn't know the whole thing. Is the fact that the adults know that they're more than likely going to die. They're going to sacrifice their lives for Amelia to live on, essentially, and stuff like that. That was very emotional, very much emotional. Fortuna, actually says some lines in this, which I don't know if it was just me, but I don't know, but I'm sorry. When I was watching the lines, when I was watching the lines and hearing what Fortuna was talking to Amelia, some of the lines, especially when she said Leah, I was like, that's something Puck would say. So my speculation is, what if Fortuna reincarnated somehow into Puck, and Fortuna has actually been Puck this entire time? It's just a theory, a speculation. I don't know what happens because I don't read the web novels or the light novels or whatever, but that's my first thing. The way she was talking in that scene and the way she called Amelia by the name Leah, I'm like, there's only one person that calls her Leah like that, and that's Puck. So if Pandora is the type of person that tells you whatever you do and it happens, maybe she told Betelgeuse, you're gonna be my personal servant or something like that, and it turns Betelgeuse into the person he is. And maybe she told Fortuna, you're gonna be a spirit. And to be honest, you know, to be honest, Fortuna's little icicle spear magic is essentially similar to Puck's. So that could be a thing. But listen, this was a very good episode. Oh, one more thing I forgot to mention. The Black Serpent makes an appearance. The Black Serpent makes an appearance. We don't see it fully. We just see this black goo type of thing. Like, for example, spoilers if you haven't watched the Frozen Bonds. Again, watch the Frozen Bonds OVA special pertaining to Amelia's backstory. If you haven't been watching any other YouTuber of ReZero say that, I'm gonna say that again. Watch it because the Black Serpent little goo kind of makes an appearance in that too. Again, that's the only second sighting we've seen of the Black Serpent in the anime version of this series. But yeah, Archie eventually gets consumed by the venom essentially, and I'm guessing he just dies from it. But yeah, and listen, it was crazy. I enjoyed this episode. I can't wait to see what's next. Man, they really are fleshing out this Amelia backstory. And I feel like this is just, again, another thing to add on. I'm like, bruh, we're already seeing so many messed up things going on with the backstory. What's gonna happen next week in episode 19? And 2, we still have not got the opening. You know, again, people have given out the speculation that what if they're gonna show off the opening in the final episode of this season? Which, no lie, I would definitely, now the more I see it, I'm definitely gonna be like, okay, yeah, they're especially if we get another like 30-minute episode next week, I'm gonna be convinced that they're gonna give us the ending, the full visual opening, you know, the final episode of season 2. That's my guess, but my goodness, this is freaking crazy. But again, another good episode of ReZero. I can't wait to see what's gonna happen now that young Amelia has been confronted by Pandora. I swear, if this the Betelgeuse we know shows up, I'm gonna be like, oh my god. But anyways, if you guys like the video, leave a like. Put in the comment section your thoughts on this, on this episode. Your comments on any things I speculated within this episode. Put that in the comment section, your thoughts. Hit that subscribe button if you want to get more ReZero content. Until then, guys, I'll see you guys on the next video. See you guys later. Stay safe out there. Peace.